Hello, it is I'm So Cutie, and today I'm bringing you a card tech, Dumbo, the duck, and the elephant, the better Blurple. So I was a little reluctant to make this video because it is kind of my spicy tech that I've been playing with extensively from basically since I got back from CCS. I didn't really enjoy the mirror that much, especially with the dice roll. It felt really grindy. But I produced this list that kind of took full advantage of Scrooge and the elephant, and it's been working phenomenally. I mean, the deck feels the same, except now you have that countermeasure to hit on the draw, and I don't think I've lost to a mirror unless I've bricked like terribly. So this one has been great. Let's get right into it. So again, I have played Blurple for a while now, and I was top 32 at CCS, so the changes I've made are very extensively tested, and I also have a little bit of rep just to back it up, so you should know that I'm not trolling that much, and I am in gold tier at the moment. This was kind of during my 40 win to like my 60 win series, so like from silver to gold, I was playing this deck exclusively on like this exact list. I haven't made like full changes. So the meta is dominated by Tiana. Tiana has just won PPG 15K here on Sunday. This is recorded one day prior to release, but we did have a lot of Blurple in the top cut and no Purple Steel, but Purple Steel was still very, very represented as the second most played deck in the metagame. Blurple making so many top cuts is very impressive, and this Dumbo Scrooge honestly rounds out the deck to perform so well into Steel without the high roll of the elephant. But there is a list that I exhibit that also plays the elephant, so let's get right into it. This is the exact list I have been testing recently. I've been playing the 3-3 split, which at first I wasn't much of a fan of, but it has been pretty consistent, especially with the develop into the sale. The Scrooge is at 4. And I do not have Big Elsa. Big Elsa has been missed, but in this list specifically, I can never bump it up because 14 Uninkables already feels extremely bricky. So I do have another list. Like, I've been editing it, but I've never actually overhauled and played with a different list. This is the exact list I've been playing with. And let me tell you, Scrooge Dumbo is so consistent at 4-4 and almost establishes that you get second star post turn 5 every time, because you'd go turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. So, turn 6. It's like a turn 6 to always address their board and then always hit second star. Because second star is just so crazy broken. It's just such a good card. And if you can basically guarantee that you hit it with such big bodies, smaller drops boosting, it's just so good. This Dumbo has also always helped me like have Tipo or one drop like proc the Dumbo in the late game and just absolutely snowball from there. It has been super good. There are times where you just ink it, obviously. Like sometimes you are on the play and it's just ink. It's inkable tech to go into the Genie, into the Elsa, and the develop is just so necessary when you're playing into the mirror matches, especially when they're very grindy. Finding a card that says draw a card a turn or 2 turns sooner is just so insane. And again, I've been very reluctant to share this list, but I did vow to be as transparent as I possibly could, especially when it comes to the metagame. And yeah, this deck has been really good. Even into the Purple Steel matchups when they establish their own Genie, it just comes out of nowhere, left field, Scrooge kills it, Belle kills it, and then I'm just spreading damage and I'm dominating the game. It has been so good. And then we'll talk about the changes that I could make. So obviously we did not see the elephant, the Ursula, or the basil, which are incredibly popular. So I did make a different list where you do cut 1 and 1, and you kind of go for this high roll on this basil roll guard, because in the mirror, if I'm playing into my own Scrooge, right, into my own list, the elephant plus basil always guarantees the Scrooge gets eaten. And then the Madam Mim literally lives the next turn unless they Elsa it and run Elsa into it for 3, right? And now you're in a very proactive state where they're responding in a very bad way. Because post this turn, then you can establish Dumbo Genie or Belle or even this Ursula to flip it back. But like, all these cards are so good and they just provide so much value. This list without Scrooge being a little bit more high roll at the bottom does allow me to put Big Elsa back, and Big Elsa is just crazy good. Like, if you're able to get this like Dumbo line you just play Elsa, and then you're threatening the craziest shift in the next turn with literally Elsa Dumbo sings it, Elsa's Elephant sings it, Elephant and your one drop sing it, like everything sings it together. Like it's so good. It's been super good. There are a lot of times where I was like, dude, if this Dumbo was a big Elsa, I would have just like wiped this board right now. It has been crazy good. And then Ursula is kind of there for the Tiana, because if they do manage to like lady into like a one drop or like double one drops and then strength the Scrooge or the Elephant, obviously Elephant is less likely to be Scrooged or to be strength. But if the Scrooge were to be strength in the Amber Steel matchup, you need to get rid of that Tiana as fast as you can and then kind of play into these next outs. It is really sluggish, and I don't prefer the Ursula, but it kind of comes up. But in this matchup with like the Basil Mim, Basil needs to be found, and Mim needs to be found, and Mim needs to balance something that is not Basil. That is the hardest part of the entire line, and that is why I don't prefer it in theory. But it is probably better in longer, grindier matches, especially just because of the big Elsa. There's just a lot of times where I really needed it, but I didn't have it. But again, this one, the only failure is the big Elsa. So like in really long Blurple matches, if I don't find enough cards, or if I don't find the second star after digging, or if I don't find the Hades, I'm probably going to lose to the big Elsa because I can't remove it, right? But my big Hades turns and stuff have been really good and really well executed, so it hasn't really failed. And again, it's why I haven't like completely overhauled the list to this and tested this, but I would definitely recommend that somebody test this and tell me how that goes, because this on a high roll turn 1 through 4, if you can establish all those pieces, you are like 100% guaranteed to win the game. Like Elephant cannot be removed. It'll destroy Tiana. You'll start eating characters for free. It is just really good. And then like if they establish Dumbo and you go Elephant and they tap thinking they're safe, like this gets to eat Elephant for free with Dumbo and then spread damage to something else to then just like Belle and Elsa like get something else. Like it's so good. It is so good. Obviously a lot of moving pieces, but this is really just to destroy the mirror, right? And at the end of the day, the deck is still running so consistently the same that there is no real change from turns 1 through 4 because your ramp's the same. It's just like that little middle engine where it feels very awkward if you don't hit a 4-drop, and this just gives you a lot more options on the draw besides just Genie and then eating a Genie Elsa, right? So again, Blurple is just completely nullified. Like this Genie quest thinking it's safe, obviously like Blind Swiss, Scrooge Dumbo, take, boom. Like it's much better than Magic Feather as well, because not only is this Dumbo technically recurable with the Madame Mim Elephant, but the Dumbo is also just another card that can sing second star and proc Dumbo. That is why it is so much better than Feather. And I understand Feather, I really do. But the curve and the cost is just odd, right? Because on turn 5, you can Dumbo develop, you can Dumbo visions, you can Dumbo and still proc the big Dumbo, like on different separate turns, right? Like it's just about fitting really good math in a lot of your games. And again, you can boost this Dumbo to just take out a Genie in the late game. Like if people overlook the Dumbo, he's still there. Like this little Dumbo is genuinely very good at giving you a lot of maneuverability and a lot of matchups, and I enjoy it a lot. It's been working really well. Like I've probably played definitely the majority of my 20 wins from silver to like gold. Right now I'm like 63 wins, something like that, you know, especially with the Chernobog's list. It was probably like 15-5, 15-10. I played a lot of best of ones as well, but a majority of my wins since I've been back from CCS has been on like this exact list. So I cannot stress enough, it has been tested. Obviously there are better lines, and if it's again, if they know this list and they don't tap Genie, why do you care, right? They don't tap Genie and they can't do anything for their next turn because Scrooge is just blocking Genie from doing anything. They're literally over-respecting the fact that you might have this Dumbo in your hand. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Again, post clear, you can play Baymax. I know people love Baymax. You can play Belle after eating the Genie to just splash to some 1-drop. You can play the Dumbo and start double procking things. Like, it is so good. You clear it, you go to 5, you play these cards, and then you're fully set up for second star. Like, especially because they'll go because this will be your 6, right? Technically, your 6 ink. They'll go into like Hades' turn, and if they go into Hades' turn, you are now winning the Hades top end. Because if they Hades first, you're eating Hades, and you're always 1 Hades up. Just an absolute meta breaker, mirror breaker. It has been so good in testing, and I really cannot stress that this is like, if I was able to attend really big events, I would have 100% played my list at PPG, and I really feel like it would have performed really well. Obviously, though, there are things like Packer Dogs and Amber Steel that take just a little bit more advantage, but Scrooge is just really good at eating it, especially with no Big Elsa. It is a little harder, but again, Purple Steel, again, Scrooge just cannot be strength unless they dump their whole hand, because it's a 5-card requirement on the board, right? It is a 3-card requirement in the ink, so that's 8 cards. That's 8 cards, 9 cards. 9 cards would have to be played for the strength to go out correctly. That is just so much demand that if it happens, they're already wide and they don't have cards in hand. So honestly, if they can pull off a strength, it's fine, because now you go into 6 and you just establish another Scrooge, and then Scrooge and Belle starts eating things up. Like, it's just good, right? It's better into Tiana. I started on the draw to a Steel Song, or Amber Steel, and I lost, and then I started on the play, and I had 1. I had locked him out at like 19. Then he rolls into Tiana again, right? I'm on the draw this time, but I can establish Scrooge, and he doesn't have enough to spread and play the strength. So he taps with Tiana, right, and then a bodyguard. So that's the biggest thing. But it was just like a hard unknown into like my 1-drops. It was a sung unknown into my 2 1-drops that just like ate this, and then I ended up closing him out at like 17, 18, like straight up, because you go so wide and you're still questing for 2. It is a really big situation, and VOD would be a lot more beneficial, but obviously I can't record VOD of those games. VOD would put it into perspective very, very well, but again, it just works really well if they don't super high roll into like that super wide strength board, because if they do not hit strength, like, you are winning. And obviously if they don't tap and they're waiting for the strength for the next turn because of like a dock or whatever, and then they might draw a character, like, okay, that's where you play Ursula. Like, those are the situations where you play Ursula to force exert, or even Elsa. Elsa, nah. Elsa maybe to sing the unknown, right? But then Ursula for sure, right? So it's just been performing really good. Again, the pros, it is a mirror breaker. It's good into all matchups. It Dumbo triggers. Questing for 2, a huge body, elephant bouncing, right? Applicable in the late game, super applicable in the late game. If you play elephant, if you play Scrooge, it's just a huge body that the mirror cannot break, or other steel matchups cannot break, and it's just going to quest for 2, and it's always going to eat 2 things with it, unless they're stat boosting. Second star setup is so good. That is the biggest thing in the whole deck, is setting up second star, and honestly, I would probably play second star at 3, because I have established a way to hit second star almost every game, whether it be on the draw or on the play. You're breaking curve like a lot. Like, you are breaking people's curves so hard that you are getting such an advantage in mirrors and steel matchups. It's just crazy, because the deck has become so flexible. You do have a lot more lower uninkables in the Madam Mim build. That's why you can fit the Big Elsa and still be at 12 uninkables, which is super good. And it remains super consistent. The deck is still Blurple. You add these 8 cards-ish, and the deck still runs exactly how it used to. You could literally not find those 8 cards, and you're still playing Blurple. Like, the deck remains completely consistent, and it's super good. The cons are, it is technically on the draw dependent, but if you're on the play and the Scrooge is questing because you don't have a genie or you don't have Dumbo, whatever, you're still questing for 2, and there's a likelihood that they have to into the unknown it, and then you can just kind of go wider or set up more things, right? Or set up more genies. So it's not that bad. I've yet to really brick that hard on the play with not finding my genie. Obviously, there's lines that you have to opt into when you're on the play, right? You just kind of get rid of Scrooge in your hand. Like, you're like, nah, I don't need that, right? But it's still at the end of the game, then you're putting 3 on the board and GG's, right? Big Elsa lost in the Scrooge list just because of the uninkables, so it is higher uninkables. It's at 14 in that Scrooge list, whereas that Madam Mim Elephant list is at... The Madam Mim Elephant is at 12, It is a harder mulligan because of the elephant needing the double 1-drops basically and the basil to live. So that one is really, really difficult. So the Scrooge one is a lot more consistent, but I can definitely see the theory behind the elephant. Again, that is both lists I have built, and the Mim Elephant technically would work, but I have not tested it as extensively as the other list. So I definitely wouldn't recommend it straight up over the Scrooge, because Scrooge can still kill the elephant, especially if you play Basil over Rafiki or Royal Guard. So there's definitely still cards in this list that can be switched out. Like this could be Basil. This could bump down to 3, and it could be like 4 Basil, 3 Royal Guard, something like that, right? Like Basil is just a lot more applicable and probably a lot better. But again, I haven't tested with it, and I haven't really missed it. But I can see how snowbally Basil could be, which is important. And then again, cons, the skill ceiling is a lot higher because of the mulligan being harder, and technically there's a lot more micro decisions to make sure that you're always set up for the late game. It's just a lot of like different play lines that you can play into, but I honestly enjoy that so much more than the traditional Blurple that we've been seeing. And again, I'm not saying that this is a completely different deck either. It plays exactly like it, but things like develop, fix your curve. The Scrooge is just so good into steel. It really is just so good into steel. And yeah, like it's harder in the sense that you need to know what you have to opt into, but develop visions do correct you pretty like extensively throughout the game. And there's just a lot more triggers, like the evasives. You have to know what's evasive. You have to know when you can support. You have to know when you can smack something. You have to know what's in your hand. And you kind of have to hit that second star. Again, but that's how the deck's been. And Blurple players, seasoned Blurple players, and top-cutting Blurple players, I think that you guys should definitely test this list out. Look at it, take a screenshot of it, just put it in, slap it in. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. DLC Milwaukee is still the set, man. Like, I actually got my competitor ticket, so I'm hoping to super refine this list. And if not, I will be playing the color that beats it. But yeah, I'm definitely still testing very extensively, and I'm hoping to climb that leaderboard pretty quick because DLC Milwaukee is right around the corner. But again, thank you so much for tuning in, and go get those elephants.